Welcome to Smart Stock Watch, your go-to channel for in-depth financial analysis. Today is October 14th, 2025, and we're diving into the third quarter earnings report of Goldman Sachs. Joining us is John, a senior analyst from Smart Stock Watch. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to discuss Goldman Sachs' latest financial performance.
Goldman Sachs has just released their Q3 2025 earnings report. Let's get into the details. Revenue and profitability overview. Let's start with the top line. Goldman Sachs reported net revenues of $15.18 billion for the third quarter of 2025, which is a 20% increase compared to the same quarter last year. John, what are your thoughts on this revenue growth?
It's quite impressive. The 20% increase in net revenues is driven by strong performance across all segments, particularly in global banking and markets and asset and wealth management. This growth reflects Goldman Sachs' ability to capitalize on market opportunities and deliver value to its clients.
And what about profitability? The net earnings for the quarter were $4.10 billion, with an EPS of $12.25, which is a significant jump from last year's $8.40. How does this compare to analyst expectations?
Goldman Sachs has exceeded expectations here. Analysts were forecasting an EPS of $10.93, and the actual EPS of $12.25 is a clear beat. This performance is a testament to the firm's operational efficiency and strategic initiatives.
Segment performance and strategic initiatives. John, can you break down the performance of Goldman Sachs' key segments?
Absolutely. The Global Banking and Markets segment reported revenues of $10.2 billion, an 18% increase from last year. This was driven by higher investment banking fees, particularly in advisory and debt underwriting. Asset and wealth management also saw a 17% increase in revenues to $4.40 billion, thanks to higher management fees and private banking revenues.
And what about platform solutions?
Platform Solutions reported revenues of $670 million, a 71% increase from the previous year. This growth was primarily due to improved performance in consumer platforms and transaction banking.
Operational efficiencies and future outlook. Let's talk about operational efficiencies. Goldman Sachs reported operating expenses of $9.45 billion, which is a 14% increase from last year. How does this impact their efficiency ratio?
The efficiency ratio for the first 9 months of 2025 was 62.1%, an improvement from 64.3% last year. This indicates that Goldman Sachs is managing its expenses well relative to its revenue growth, which is a positive sign for investors.
Goldman Sachs also declared a dividend of $4 per share and repurchased $2.0 billion worth of shares. What does this say about their capital management strategy?
These actions reflect a strong commitment to returning capital to shareholders. The dividend increase and share repurchases are indicative of Goldman Sachs' confidence in its financial position and future prospects.
Key takeaways. In summary, Goldman Sachs has delivered a strong performance in Q3 2025, with significant revenue growth and profitability. The firm has exceeded EPS expectations and demonstrated effective capital management. John, any final thoughts?
Goldman Sachs is well positioned for future growth, with strong segment performances and strategic initiatives. Investors should be optimistic about the firm's ability to navigate market challenges and deliver shareholder value.
Thank you, John, for your insights, and thank you to our viewers for tuning in. If you found this analysis helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Smart Stock Watch. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Goldman Sachs' performance in the comments below.